5-Minute Pearls for Clinical Practice. Today is pearl number 1. Be here now. Hello, this is Dr. Brian Morris, and this is 5-Minute Pearls for Clinical Practice, where you will learn the tools to provide exceptional care for your patients. This is the weekly podcast where you will be introduced to time-tested, evidence-based patient care strategies that aren't always taught in schools or training programs, but are nonetheless crucial for success in clinical practice. And each podcast episode is only about 5 minutes in length. I've been practicing internal medicine for 20 years. I went to medical school at Johns Hopkins. I trained at Yale, and I previously held a teaching position at Harvard Medical School. I currently practice medicine and hold a teaching appointment at UCLA Medical School here in Los Angeles, where I teach these patient care strategies to medical students, house staff, doctors, and other healthcare providers. This week's Pearl is called Be Here Now. As physicians in training, and other healthcare providers, we have a ton on our minds at any given time. We're thinking about the patients that we just saw. We're thinking about patients that we're about to see. We're thinking about a study we just read or the stack of labs waiting for our review. We're thinking about the 10 phone calls that we need to return or the presentation that we need to prepare for next week, or all the emails in our inbox. The amount of information going through our minds is massive, and it only seems to accumulate as we progress through our training and through our careers. It's quite a challenge to process all of the information and learn how to effectively manage and balance it all. It's also a challenge to learn the very important skill of putting all of these thoughts aside when we meet with patients. What do I mean by that? To provide truly exceptional care for our patients requires many skills, but one of the most important is to be able to put 100% of our focus on the patient that we're seeing right now. When we're taking a history from a patient or we're examining a patient, our mind needs to be solely on that patient and not distracted. If we are distracted, I can guarantee you that you might not pick up an important clue on physical examination, or you'll forget to ask an important question. And also, patients will sense that you are distracted and feel less willing to share important and sometimes very sensitive information with you. Be here now. Give your full focus and attention to each patient. I find that there are 2 very helpful strategies to maintain this focus and attention when you're with a patient. First, before you walk into a room to see a patient, take a breath or 2. It's as simple as that. We are so busy and stressed. Things can get very hectic during our day. Just the second before you walk into the room to see the patient, take 1 or 2 breaths. Feel the air enter and exit your lungs. This has an amazing power to center us into the moment and improve our focus and attention. Those who have practiced yoga or Pilates know just how powerful the breath can be in centering our focus in that moment. Second, if you feel like you're losing focus and becoming distracted, it can be very helpful to make sure that you're making good, consistent eye contact with the patient. Of course, you may need to look through a chart or scan the electronic medical record or look at a computer screen for some other purpose, but there's something about good, consistent eye contact that focuses the mind and helps bring our focus back to the present moment. The next time you're seeing a patient and find your thoughts drifting to another topic, make sure that you're making good eye contact, and if necessary, take another breath to remind yourself to focus your attention on that patient. Also, it's crucial to minimize any other distractions that could arise while you're with a patient. If at all possible, turn off your smartphone when you're with patients, or at least put the phone on vibrate. In fact, if you have personal and business email accounts through your smartphone, you can set it up so that the smartphone only vibrates when you receive email from certain accounts. That way, personal emails won't distract you. Also, when you finish with each patient, take care of as many tasks as possible before you see your next patient. Have a clear, organized daily to-do list to keep track of tasks that still need attention, such as phone calls, emails, or important test results. The key is not to have any tasks on your mind when you're with your next patient, and having an organized daily to-do list can help make this easier. Also, it's very important to let your staff know not to disturb you when you're with a patient except for urgent situations. It's a great idea to meet with your staff regularly to review office procedures so they feel comfortable handling the majority of situations that might arise each day. Having clearly defined protocols for the most common situations can help allow you to stay as focused as possible on each patient. And realize that this is not easy. With smartphones and tablets everywhere we go, it's become so much more complicated to keep our thoughts and our focus on what we're doing and not on what happened before or on what's about to happen later in the day. We'll explore this in much more detail in future pearls, but for now, this first pearl, to be here now, is a reminder to maintain our focus and our attention on the patient that we're seeing right now. Try not to be distracted by everything that's happened before or what's about to happen. Practicing this focus will really help you to stay fully engaged as a clinician so that you can process all the information necessary to provide each patient with great medical care. Let's keep the dialogue going. Let me know what you think of this week's Pearl for Clinical Practice, to be here now. Post your comments and experiences on the 5 Minute MD Facebook page. You can follow us on Twitter at Brian Morris MD, and you can visit us anytime on our website, 5minutemd.com. Let your friends and your colleagues know about the podcast, and make sure that you are subscribed on iTunes. If you are subscribed to this podcast on iTunes, you will receive future pearls as soon as they are posted. Thank you so much for listening. This is Dr. Brian Morris, and I will see you at the next 5.